no idea. Somebody said that Josh was having like a 35th
That's great. I mean, last time was...
reunion, and I was like, what? Didn't we just have our 20th?
Yeah, time is the worst. Time is the worst.
It's already, when I noticed, oh God, what's going on?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Okay, so Phoebe said, straight up offer this to Jen.
No, she said you should bring her in. I wasn't like at the stage of getting offered, anything at that point. And so I got the audition, and then it was definitely last days to Brooklyn because my hair got burnt off.
Oh, okay.
Brooklyn, so I had
It's a
like,
great
no
haircut.
hair. I had no hair, yeah.
It's beautiful, yeah.
So I went in with no hair and was feeling not great about the audition. And I called my agent afterwards practically in tears. Because when you're really young, you care so much and every job means so much. Not that it doesn't when you get older, but it does in the same way. And so I was calling him and I was sort of crying and saying, I really blew it. Can you please just get me back to the
What scene
door?"
did you audition, out of curiosity?
It was
remember?
the prostitute scene.
Amazing, yeah.
Pepper, that scene. And they said, well, you got it.
Immediately.
Yeah.
Wow, that's incredible.
What, did you find that maybe that kind of vulnerability that you brought into it, maybe that you kind of a little bit?
I think it was like the really bad haircut.
Yeah.
And being just, I think, probably I was more vulnerable than I realized, and it was just sort of that girl somehow, some way. And
Yeah, I was
And
just.
was Alec reading across from you or no?
yeah.
Oh, wow,
Yeah.
okay.
So,
And what was your opinion of him at that point?
he was so good. You know what I mean? He was so easy to play with. And maybe that was part of it too, was that
Got
he
it.
always keeps her slightly
Mm-hmm.
off keel.
Mm-hmm.
And it all felt very real. I just didn't, I just felt so like I wasn't doing a great job.
And what was your relationship, friendship, or opinion of Fred Ward at the time?
I just liked him.
He's amazing.
Yeah,
He's incredible. I mean, he's such a perfect Hulk.
yeah, he
he's
was
really-
so great and so sweet.
And had you known about the book when someone's like, hey, you want to do Miami Blues?
No.
Because originally in the book, the Hare Krishna that he kills is Susie's brother, correct?
Yes,
I think, yeah.
yes, that whole connection is much deeper.
Right.
It took like too long.
It was, well, yeah,
Get
it actually is a very good adaptation.
And that's
of
Kenny
the book.
Up, right? He plays
Who plays the Hare Krishna? Oh, I didn't know that. I
Yeah,
didn't
he's
know
one
that.
of the producers, yeah.
Oh. And you worked with great Talk.
Yeah, talk to you.
What an incredible,
Incredible.
I mean, really, as time passes, he becomes greater and greater. He really, was...
Simplicity.
Yeah, he's such a simple cinematographer.
So good and so kind.
And he was like, he was the king at that point, no?
Yeah.
But there's something in this movie that's so incredible, and your performance strikes it too. It's kind of whimsical, but at the same time, there's this danger to it, and you don't know where it falls, and it's just really special. And I don't know if you brought that with you when you were doing it, because your character is so kind of just like wide-eyed to the world, but you also know that she's like there's a lot more to what's going on, than she puts off.
Right. I mean, she's pretty innocent. Like, I actually flew to Okeechobee.
Yeah, I met her.
Spent a lot of time. Spent like a week in Okeechobee with some town girls.
Yeah.
And they're just like Susie Wagner, except not prostitutes. But that's the only difference. I mean, seriously.
Small difference, yeah. No, but it is.
It's fairly small difference.
Sure, no,
And they're just so sweet and hopeful. It's
Mhm.
like that kind of hope and this belief in like having a franchise and just putting stuff away for your future and sort of the normalcy of life
American
being
happy,
something
yeah.
beautiful. And
So you could tap into the character through their eyes?
yeah.
And was there anything personally for you that you saw in Susie that maybe you were?
Yeah, but I think
Because
as
it's
an
such a
actor,
vulnerable performance,
yeah.
it's amazing, yeah.
But you're less in touch with that. Because you always sort of bring yourself to everything, but you don't always know what parts you're bringing, And so that's why it's fun to do research, because it just makes you feel a little more like private about what's you and what's the character.
You have this amazing ability everything that you're in to somehow be the soul of the movie. I mean, I'm not even. I mean, Good Time. You're you know, it's not the biggest. It's when you're like your soul is kind of hovering over the movie, and that, you know, that's Corey is your character's name. I mean, but in this movie, I mean, I think Spirit in the Sky is actually about Susie in a way.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
I
love that song.
I do too.
Yeah.
I mean, I love that. Alec and I had a blast making this movie. I wish he could be here tonight.
He would like do impressions of people all the time, or
He was just incredible. How about the scene on the bed with the money? He made me laugh so hard when we were shooting. And the director would just, because we had a lot of intimate scenes, and so the director would say, why don't you guys go off, you figure out what you want to do, and then, you know, when you're ready, you know, take your time, when you're ready, you can come in and show us, and then we'll shoot.
oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, so that was kind of great, because it gave us this kind of freedom, and, you know, we could figure stuff out, and it just made it play, and it made it really fun and safe.
Yeah, that's. I recently. I heard a crazy story about Adrian Lyne. About he has a lot of racy scenes, and the story I heard was like
The opposite of what you just described.
the story I heard is that, like, you know, that there was like a little bit of apprehension to doing the scene, and like, no, don't worry, he makes such a crazy fool of himself when he's filming that you feel totally comfortable. So like sex scenes, he's like, hey, grab a stick, or, you know, like, I go very, very different approach. In a weird way, the same effect. I don't know, I'm not, yeah.
Just to switch gears a little bit, I don't know, just that, what really always hits me is.
Yeah, sorry, I don't know.
Is the scene,
It's on the wrong track.
Is the scene really hot? When you cook in that pie, when you just kind of.
Devastating.
You wear it all on your face, and it's so subtle, the kind of devastation that you see. But it's also, it's a plan you concocted.
Right.
But it's a plan that's so thought through from that point of view. I don't know, I just want to hear how you did that scene, just because it's so amazing to watch.
Well, first of all, I took cooking lessons.
So
I-
you make that actual.
Well, I didn't make the actual pie in the movie, but I made a bunch of those pies at home.
Yeah, yeah.
I had this really nice little spread in Miami. And so I took cooking lessons. I learned how to cook, like, I still make the biscuits that I made, that I learned how to make then. And, so I had this great cooking teacher, and I learned how to make the pie. And the scene's just really well written. You know, when something's well written, it's really easy. You just have to sort of be in it and say the lines. And
Yeah.
also, I loved Alex so much, and I believed he was Junior, and I knew he believed I was Susie. And if you give that to each other as
Yeah.
actors, you're
Was he staying in all the time?
It's
And
not
were you
that
guys
we were staying in all the time. It's just that when they said action, we were those people, and we believed it of each other.
You just both turned on. and just-
Yeah. So it was so easy to act with him, and George Armitage was so generous with both of us.
I'm sure.
The dinner scene between the three is like,
Yeah.
talk about different perspectives sitting at a table.
Yeah, I'm curious about, you said the script was so spot on, so there wasn't, I mean, I know personally that you know, I write dialogue, but then I'm like very ready to just throw it in the garbage, even though I'm super proud of it. You're you can say, one of a handful of actors who can just say any word and any line, and it just feels natural.
No.
Was there, yes, but it was improv an element on this movie, or?
We had some improv, like in the first love scene, like, it wasn't written where he says, I haven't been, the original line was, I haven't been with a woman in a long time, but it wasn't turnover.
What did you do when he said that?
No, that's what we worked out. It was like some weird thing, like he's been in jail a long time.
Yeah, of course,
Sort of our private joke, we thought it was really, really funny, but it also played really well, and, you know, George let us keep it in. So there was like some improvisation going on, but it was really kind of like either stuff that we had worked out on our own, or stuff that would happen in the moment. But it wasn't George saying, just say whatever you want to say. You know, it's kind of like.
Of course, yeah, that's the worst type of improv. Just like, you come up with it.
Yeah.
That is, people do that, and that is unfortunately a reality. do we,
Yeah, I think
do we open, I'm not, like, just new to this hosting of the Q&A thing. Are we gonna open up to the audience to let you guys ask some questions?
We're getting the nod.
I'm getting the nod from Jay, like, you're doing a good job. Okay, so right here.
First of all, guys, good time with the ship. Good luck with that.
Thank you, it opens tomorrow technically.
I saw it last night.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
So it looks like the script was written, if you just read the words on the page, it would have one meaning, but then Jordan Roberts had synthesized this tone that's just crazy out of those words. How did he do that on set where it just reads like one thing, but you guys are doing something else entirely on top? It's so entertaining.
Yeah, I don't know how we did it, because it wasn't a huge budget. We didn't have a lot of rehearsal. We would just, sometimes he would say, okay, you guys go off and rehearse, we're gonna light. And then we would come together and he would sort of shoot it. That's sort of my memory of it. It was a very sort of simple thing. So I think it was just a good marriage. Because I remember seeing the movie and feeling like I could see this again. And that's not a feeling I always have when I'm in something, And I felt, it was one of the first times I felt like I was really proud to be in it. And I felt like I'm an actress like that. It was a good feeling.
Totally.
Yeah, it's also so fun. I'm sorry.
No, it is very fun.
Yeah, it's fun. That's also what leads into it. But again, that balance of
It's a great portrait of Miami. I recently programmed some movies down in Miami, and this was #1. Basically, it was the first time that we showed it. Yeah, it was this, then Bully, and then I forgot a couple. I think others, but Miami Blues was like the only one I really cared.
Alex' energy is just surreal.
Yeah, of course.
Haircut.
The haircut,
Oh,
yeah.
he's just like, he's so alive and
Got me.
magnetic
Yeah.
and crazy good.
Yeah,
tattoo.
Yeah, the tattoo is amazing. Over here on the right. Yes.
You guys worked with Quentin Tarantino a few years ago. You ever talked to him? You ever mentioned the fan of this movie? I feel like there's things in this movie you could have definitely enjoyed. Do you mention it to you or anything?
He knows, yeah, he liked this movie. He actually knows much more about my career than I do. He's just that way. Not only me, with every actor he works with or doesn't work with, he just knows everything. So he had things to tell me about this movie that
Yes.
First of all, Alec Baldwin was interviewed about 3 weeks ago and said this was his favorite movie. So, I wanted to ask you what you were saying before about watching the movie, because I realized watching it now that you don't have a scene without Alec Baldwin until late in the movie when Freddie Ward talks to you in the grocery store. So Alec Baldwin's doing all those crazy scenes and you're not in them. So when the first time you saw the movie, were you surprised by what you saw?
Obviously I read the script, but that's why I was so taken aback by the scene on the bed with the money, and also the breaking the finger of the Hare Krishna, all the violence that is so disturbing. When you read it, it's one thing, and when you see it, it's something altogether different. But I think that is part of what made the experience so exciting for me, was that the movie has a real life and a force in it, and you don't know where it's going to go. You don't know from scene to scene what you're about to see next. You're not ahead of it, and I love that feeling when I see a movie.
Right here.
I love all your work. Georgia is one of my favorite films. As a parent, has it changed your approach to acting? I'm just wondering, films like Georgia back then and now as a parent, has it changed how you approach your acting, the choices you make in acting, anything at all? I'm just wondering.
My taste hasn't changed. I'd love to make a movie that my son could see.
I love that he knew about this screening.
Yeah, he knew. He told me he was visiting his dad in town, and he said, "So you're going to be at the Metrograph, Miami Blues."
Not able to watch a lot of movies yet.
I can't. The only movie he's seen was Hudsucker Proxy. That's the only movie I've made that's PG. Even the animated movie in Annalisa is R.
You have to do an edit of some, just to kind of.
At what age, I mean, I saw Pulp Fiction in theaters when I was 10 and he was 8. We were going out with our dad when the lights came up. So I don't know, what age do you think is, like, I mean, obviously a lot of that stuff would, as if my mom was in, I wouldn't want to see that
This
stuff.
was actually much more, this was more tame than Pulp Fiction. That's why when we say, oh, the kid should watch it. Oh, yeah, of course the kid should watch this, because I'm coming from watching Pulp Fiction.
Turn around.
I know, but you wouldn't understand exactly what that was. But in Pulp Fiction, there's a lot of other stuff that's really not
There's some
disturbing.
really disturbing stuff for kids to see.
So that was my kind of benchmark. So when you're like, oh, this isn't a kid's movie, how come?
Yeah, he's dying to see, like, the movies he keeps asking me, when am I going to be old enough to see Jaws and The Shining? Like,
Jaws
that's
is
what he wants.
PG.
It's not.
Jaws is PG.
No way.
Jaws is PG.
Different times. I have friends that still, like, are afraid to get in the bathtub. The bathtub.
I mean, the Psycho still, still freaks me out in the shower. but-
Yeah, he's not seeing Psycho. We're not even talking about Psycho.
Right here.
I was wondering, because I know that Jonathan Demme was the executive producer, and there were a whole bunch of people that he often worked with. Craig was the editor, and Tack, and Kenneth. And I wondered if he was ever on set, or if there was any direct interactions while you guys were making that picture.
Wasn't he originally directing it?
He was, and then he didn't at the last minute, and I don't remember why. But yeah, he came to set a few times. Not a lot, but enough to feel like Jonathan.
Because it sort of had the same energy that some of his stuff did.
Yeah, you can see why he would be drawn to it and why he would, you could imagine a movie made by him. Yeah.
It's incredible. Rest in peace. And, right here, over there. Right.
This is an acting question. What do you see as some of the most difficult things for you when you were working the first time directing?
Yeah, I really want to do a Marvel movie. That's what I want Rover to like be able to go see it that his mom's in.
Storm, I could see it, yeah. No, couldn't you guys see that? No, all right. No, I mean specifics. Okay, saw another hand pop up before I called on the hat over here. Question just got answered.
I guess, I still, it's still just kind of, because you mentioned like the doe eye, just kind of those girls in Okeechobee. But like, how did you come to terms with the switch, for her character?
Because he's everything to her, and she's chosen to believe him, despite the suitcase with the dresses. Like she's just chosen to take everything he says at face value, and she's put her whole life into that. And she's given up the life that she has for this fantasy. And so when it goes away, when it evaporates, it's incredibly painful.
My heart just dropped listening to that description of that.
I've read that Robert Altman was very important to you. Could you talk about maybe what he taught you or what you took from him or why he was important?
I mean, I knew him from when I was a little girl because he was friends with my parents. And working with him, he really makes it a familial experience. Like you're kind of demanded that you go to dailies, which people don't even have dailies anymore, but.
It was a group thing, everyone would go to this.
Yeah, and you really had to go. If you didn't go, it was almost a direct insult. And an Allman movie, like dailies would sometimes be 3 hours long.
Sure,
Really long. But there'd be food and pizza and wine. And it was an incredible experience, He always saw the script as an outline of a skeleton, and he wanted you to fill it in. So he said, this is the script, but you take it, you do your research, you do whatever you do. I don't want to know about it, just show up and do it. And so that was exciting, you were given all of this responsibility, and a lot of times, I always did tons of research because of my mother, but a lot of times directors didn't want to know from it. They felt like they were being pushed into a corner, that's not how they saw it, they just didn't want to hear about it. But with Altman, he demanded it in a way, and he liked it. So it was really nice for me.
What did he say? He talked about films as sandcastles. How you got together with all your friends and built a sandcastle, and then the wave just comes and washes it away. It's such a beautiful way of putting it.
That was the name of his company.
Yeah.
It was called Sandcastle?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I didn't know that story. It was all coming
It was
together.
like the Oscars. He gave that speech.
I saw another hand pop up. When did you pop his hand up top? I'm trying to do this the right way. There you go.
Above, because it's harder to see with the light.
I have a question, kind of related to the haircut scenario. It's related to a different movie, but single white female. When you know, does that, like, are you tapping into, in single white female, the feeling that you felt when you showed up to, you know, with a totally different persona to be Susie in a way, or, you know, and you know, I don't know, are you bringing that to Miami Blues, or?
Wait, what do you mean?
I'm talking about the transformation of a character, and if you're
Oh, but the Susie transformation, I had no
no
power over.
power over it. Yeah, but I'm saying mentally what that means to like chop off all your hair, or because of
Yeah.
some trauma.
I mean, like in here's the difference. Like on Georgia, we shaved my head, you know, because the character has no identity. So she's like, oh, maybe if I shave my head like Sinead O'Connor, I'll make it. You know, at the end of the movie, she wants to be singer, so she shaves her head.
Spoiler alert.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's-
on camera, so I've shaved my head. But so that was like a choice. And in Single White Female, it's a character development. She
Sure.
wants to merge with her roommate and become her roommate and take over her roommate's life, and so she does that. But on Miami Blues, it was something so outside of my control. I mean, my hair was, I had black hair from doing this movie called The Big Picture, where I played a performance artist, and so I dyed my hair black. And then, you know, Lee Dell wanted it white, platinum for, and I didn't like wearing wigs, so I was like, we can do it. So
Wigs are the worst.
yeah, they're hard to work with because you can't really touch them, and, you know, especially then. I think they're better now, but I really didn't want one. I said, let's see if we can find someone to make my hair platinum, and we eventually did. But then all my hair fell out. So yeah, so then it was growing in a
That's
little
definitely
bit. So
advanced,
it's a totally different thing. But you're probably right. It probably is what made me feel more vulnerable
Yeah.
in my audition for.
And something like that really, something physical like that does inform how you move or how you do something.
Yeah.
There's a freedom there.
Rob's hair totally destroyed it making the movie.
Right.
And we permed it, and then we dyed it for the actual movie, and then we dyed it back to go back and do other things, and then literally it's like it's just all coming out. So then last day he just like literally showed up at the wrap party with a completely shaved head. And he was just, he found it to be very liberating.
It felt good. But when you do it on purpose, it feels
Yeah,
really
that's
good.
I was going to ask you because it's like there is something when you have to shave your head. There's something very, if you don't normally do that, it's a very strange thing. It's a weird feeling.
It's kind of liberating, especially
Yeah.
if you have a nice head that's not too bumpy.
How do you know that was the thing that's
Wrong.
scared? I was so scared.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was so scared. Like,
But
what?
then you had a nice head too.
But it was a
Yeah, and everyone wants to touch your head.
Yeah,
That's
everybody.
nice.
But
Yeah.
yeah, how do you decide what happened? What if I have a weird bump and did it in there?
You don't know.
Actually, I remember we talked about Georgia a little bit on Good Time because Ulu's wife plays your mom,
Yeah.
plays your guardian,
Yeah.
which is.
Well, she was so great.
She
right?
was briefly in Good Time, but they had a rapport that we, honestly, if we didn't yell cut, you guys would have just argued in the room for
It's a
3 hours.
it's a brief-
But she was also kind of like,
Such a,
yeah.
you made such an impression,
Yes.
right? Just that opening the door alone.
Yeah, and that
You know,
tracksuit
the whole
too.
cast,
The way
like
she says
everything.
hello. It's
Yeah.
like, oh my
Incredible.
God.
You get it all.
That was the best casting. I asked Jen, I said, who should play your mother? And it was like the first thing we went to, Rosario.
Yeah.
And yeah, and then I spoke to her for like an hour, and then she was asked the producer like a minute later, it's like, when am I going to talk to the director? I was like, who did you think you're talking to? about like the whole scenario between the two of you. I went so deep into it. She was like, wait, are we shooting all those scenes? It was pretty special, but getting the sign. Thank you everybody for coming out.